Hey guys, good evening. How's everybody doing? It's your girl. I'm just gonna type in the topic of today. Just gonna type in the topic of today. Hi. Good evening. It's Ochiko. And today is Tuesday. Normally I have my ring light on, but I'm liking this sort of, chilled out, more natural version. But, oh, that's so bright. That's so bright. I might turn it down. Let's see. Yeah, let's go for a more calm down look. Or let's see what. Ooh, look at this. This is bright. Okay, so I'm not even gonna stay long today. I'm not even gonna stay on here long today. I'm just gonna come and do my Tuesday rants, and I'm gonna hop off. 15 minutes tops. I know I talk a lot, but I'm gonna try and curtail it to 15 minutes, I promise. Okay, so my name is Ochiko, if you don't know who I am, and every Tuesday I come on Instagram live and I talk about, just life, things that are going on. In the past couple of weeks, or probably since forever, is been about dating and online dating. That's because during the lockdown, I started online dating because I wanted to meet somebody and come out of my shell. I want to get married, I want to be hitched. I want to find Mr. Right. I want to find the one. So I've been sharing my experiences with people on here. But today I want to just take it to a little bit of a different place. And I want to talk about the fear of failure. So if you want to hang out, that'd be great. However, if you want to pop in and out, that's fine. You don't have to say the whole session. I will save this Instagram live onto my page and you can catch up. You can share it with your friends if you find it helpful. So I'm just going to dig into it. And to be honest, it's a question I'm asking myself. Why am I afraid of failure? And I honestly would love some help to deal with this, okay? Sometime around last year, I spent a lot of time with God. I journaled. I still spend time with God, but I spent like an extended, sort of secluded time. And I was unpicking some of the habits that I have that are not really helpful for me, and they're very self-sabotaging, right? I feel like I sabotage myself in a lot of projects. For example, I want to start up my YouTube channel. I did start it up. After a while, I got really into myself and became very self-conscious, and I just felt like I couldn't do it, and so I stopped doing it. And, I started digging deeper, trying to find out, why am I afraid of failure, okay? And to come up with some sort of mechanism to help me deal with it. The funny thing is this: fear of failure is something that actually leads to failure, if that makes sense. It's such a self-sabotaging technique, okay? The truth is, if you don't try something out, you're never going to know if you're going to succeed at it or not. But if you just think that you're never going to succeed, then that's it. I think fear of failure is usually, from my perspective, people who are high achievers suffer from this a lot. So when I was younger, I was very brainy, very smart, still brainy, hi. But I used to be the top of my class. And any year or any term when I was in the top of my class, it would be very difficult for me, of which I don't know where that came from, because my family never pushed me in that sense. Oh, you need to be the top, or you need to be the best. They never said anything. But I wonder whether there was a reverse of that, whether there was a lot of praise and a lot of words of affirmation when I did achieve those high grades and, being the top. So I wonder whether in my head that meant, okay, when if I ever wanted to be like, like if I wanted my parents to be proud of me, I needed to achieve those high grades. And I remember clearly, if I didn't come top 3, even first position, I would be so sad and be so depressed. Up until now, even, it's, still a thing. And if something looks like I'm not going to be the top at it, if something looks like I'm not going to be the best at it, I will not attempt it. Okay, I will not do it. You cannot force me to. If anything looks difficult to me, if anything looks like this is something that I'll have to really work hard at learning, and doesn't come naturally, because I prided myself on being naturally smart. Like things that took people time to get their heads round, I would get it. I would just understand it. Later on in life, right, my mum said to me, it wasn't always like that. So when I was younger, a teacher had come to her house and seen that my reading was below where it needed to be. And she said, oh, no. You need to put her in a lesson straight away. You need to put her in a nursery straight away. You need to put her somewhere straight away. And so my mom got me lessons. Okay, and when I was younger, she got me lessons, and I had after school lessons. And as a result of that after school lessons, I then managed to not only close the gap, but superseded my peers. And so it's quite funny, something that I've built, sort of this fake identity, well, I won't call it fake, but some sort of identity around, is actually not accurate, because those things that I think came naturally to me, they didn't come naturally to me. I had to put in the extra work to close the gap, okay? And I did it so well that I then became better than my peers at it. So going through life then, I was having this idea that, it came naturally. However, I didn't know the complete truth, which is that I did have to work hard at it. So I think for me, that's my roots. And for you or whoever's watching, you're going to have to, really, really dig deep and find out what exactly is it that you are afraid of. Are you afraid of people making fun of you? Is it a pride thing? And, ask yourself, what's the worst thing that can happen if I fail? So that's what I started doing. I started to put myself out there and started to say, what's the worst thing that can happen, okay? Another thing is sort of like lack of confidence. As I said before, if it's something that I have never tried, something that I feel, even just remotely, example, going to the gym and doing a class called Burn It. I'm likely going to look silly. I'm likely not going to be able to do the first 30 minutes. Sorry, guys, I just came from the gym and I'm just thinking of if I should book that class or not. But in my head, I'm thinking, you're probably not going to last 10 minutes. Why bother? But actually, I can push myself and say, okay, if I do this for like 4 weeks consistently and I don't die, right? If it doesn't kill me, then there's nothing to fear. I can actually go for it. So most of it is actually entrenched in the mind. Okay, most of it is actually entrenched in the mind. We need to approach situations with confidence. Number one, whatever it is you're trying or wanting to attempt, if it's as small as going to the gym, or even as big as getting a PhD or getting a master's, or even just being new at your job, right? You need to approach it with the mindset of, okay, be real with it. Don't think it's going to be easy. So that was my approach in life, because I thought things came naturally easy. Everything had to be easy. But that's an idealist mentality. Life, since the fall of Adam, the world splintered, right? And literally, even during the floods of Noah, God himself broke up the earth and released water from the ground. So the world has been splintered. There is no such thing as a perfect situation unless God is stepping into it to bring his supernatural. So life is not designed to be easy at all. So that mentality of things are going to come easy, It's not going to happen. So we need to build up our confidence and to say, okay, if this doesn't work, I'm going to try again. And you need to build your resilience and say, if I fail at this, I can try again, because there is actually no such thing as failure. There is only learning, okay? And learning your limits and learning how to push your boundaries and learning how to become stronger. Now, another thing with me or people who fear failure is that sort of lack of patience and that myopic nature. That thing of you're only looking at the now, okay? You're only looking at the now rather than projecting just a little bit, 6 months ahead, 5 months ahead, projecting a little bit, even if it's like 1 year ahead. What's the story going to look like? Right? How is this story going to be if I'm consistent in learning this thing that seems difficult? What's it going to look like at the end? Why am I doing it? Okay. Once you find your why, and it has to be a why that is completely personal to you rather than something that you want to do because of society, XYZ, and you need to be completely honest with yourself. So in this season, I've been practicing honesty. Like, I tell myself the truth now and again because I always give myself an easy way out. If I see something I think, oh my God, this is too difficult, I'm not going to do it, I'll just find, some small excuse, right? And I'll tell myself and I'll give myself the easy way out. And then recently I said, actually, no, you're not going to go very far in life if you keep opting out. All right. So I went to see a family friend a couple of days ago and it was such a good time. They're older, they're, successful, they're from back home and they're making strides in the UK. And I just really admired them. And so I went, with my mom, and it was just such a nice time of fellowship. And they gave me some, really good advice, right? And they were talking about, put yourself out there, networking. And immediately when I heard it, my alarm bells were ringing. Things started flashing in my head. Oh, why do I have to network? Why do I have to do XYZ? Why do I have to do this? But the truth is, you can either be stubborn, and I had to pause and ask myself, okay, why are you fighting against this? You came to these guys, they've told you what works. What is it really that is making you fight against it? And I realize I'm afraid of how people see me. I'm afraid of how people perceive me. I want them to like me. And this idea of going all the way out to some random conferences and putting yourself out there, no matter how bubbly I am on here, it does seem scary, because I'm going to be in with a lot of people that will challenge me and challenge my thinking. That is actually a good thing, but I am so scared when I am not among the smart people in a room because of my background, instead of thinking, actually, there's a lot of things I could learn here. But upon that reflection, I was like, okay, now I've confronted it. I've confronted the feeling. If I go into a room where there's a lot of smart people around, what's the best thing that can happen, right? I can learn, I can grow. And I said, okay, it seems difficult, but actually, if this is what if networking is what it takes in today's society to be successful, it should be something I should aspire to, right? And it should be something I should not be afraid of, and I should put myself out there. Now, that took me being completely honest with myself in confronting what is it exactly, why is that negative emotion arising, okay? That comes with, being completely self-aware, noticing things that are happening, immediately they're happening, and catching them as they happen, and deconstructing lies that might surround it, and just being very, very reflective and very, very honest with yourself. The other thing I've noticed, okay, again, I'm just using myself and probably my students as an example, this whole thing of not trying because you don't want to fail, okay? it stems from, for me anyway, like lack of confidence, okay? And this idea that what I have to offer is not good enough. So in the lesson, I always say to them, it doesn't matter if your answer is wrong. Say it anyway. And they're like, oh, I don't know. And then I'll probe them out and I'm like, no, actually, you do know. There is something coming to your mind as I'm speaking. Can you try and give me the answer? And they'll say just one thing and I'll just latch onto it and I'm like, yeah, and I'll make eye contact. I'm like, yeah, go on. And they might say 2 words and then I'll fill in the gap so that they know that actually you have something to give. Your voice matters. Okay, so if as an individual you automatically think there is nothing I can give to this platform, there is nothing I can do, there's already people who are so super advanced, there's nothing I can contribute. That is not the truth. Okay, there is some knowledge there, and even if there is no knowledge there, you can actually learn because you've got a brain, you've got a mind, and bring that to the table as well. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing with confidence in the workplace or confidence in anything that you're doing. If you feel you've got nothing to give, you're not going to speak up, and you will continue to take, and you will continue to feel poor. So it's a mentality. It's like a poverty mentality where you think, so poverty doesn't start with money. It starts with the mindset. If you keep feeling, I have nothing to give, you would constantly look for people to take from. And as a result, people don't want to be around you. Right? Think of that, your friend, that every time they're always asking you for X, they're always asking you for Y, they're always asking you for Z. And it doesn't even have to be money. Or that friend that every time they come to your house, they look at one thing and, it almost feels a little bit awkward and they always have to take one thing with them. It makes it a little bit uncomfortable. And that's because, and I think it's to do with a self-esteem and a self-worth issue. When you feel everybody else is better than you, everybody else has something you don't have, you're always wanting to take, okay? But that's not true. That's a lie from the pit of hell. When God designed you, He designed you with everything that you needed to succeed. He gave you a brain that is able to expand. I don't know if people have done a bit of research into neuroplasticity. This idea that you can just keep learning and your brain can keep, building itself and keep developing into like new networks. It's like a tree, like neurons are shaped like trees that interconnect with each other. So my whole spiel today is you have something to give. When you know that you have something to give, you are confident. You can go and learn and develop yourself to be able to give something. And that way, that whole thing of failure removes itself. Okay? The other thing I was reflecting on, I know myself. I don't like preparation. This is why I fear failure. I want everything to be easy. I want to show up on the scene and be already perfect, already done, already cooked. But it doesn't work like that, okay? Even the Lord had to take sand and mold it and create something out of it, right? He had to take time and pour his heart into it and put love into it and come up with this thing that is mankind, that is beautiful and divine. So there is something about process and thinking things through and preparing, and you're able to then bring it to the stage when you feel like you have put yourself into this thing and you have brought it to life. Okay, we are all creators, right? Each and every one of us is born and made in the image of God. Therefore, we have that nature to be able to create just like him. We are in his image. If he's a creator, we are creators as well. I think some people think being creative is just something to do with if you can paint or if you can act or if you can draw. That's actually it's just a different way or a different expression of creativity. Creativity is taking raw material, okay, and making it into something new, okay? It doesn't matter if ABC has done it. You haven't done it before, so it's innovative to you. And so that is you being creative, right? Or taking something within your mind space, an idea, and bringing it out into life. That could be something as simple as, I've come into my room and my room looks messy, but in my mind space, I see it as being tidy. So I'm going to take some time now to do that. And immediately you create. Okay, you transform something into something else. So cleaning is creativity. Tidying up is creativity. Preparing a lesson for your kids is creativity. Preparation is creativity. So for those of us who have this huge fear of failure and we don't like to try things, how about you take some time and do some prep, okay? And then think about it, mind map, draw a lot of things out, see how you can put some love into this thing so that when you go out to whatever it is, your job, your place of work, you can bring all of yourself to it and you can shine and not dim your light. And to be honest, I do understand that some of us are in societies where there might not be any support system to catch you if you fail. I completely understand that, but that's okay. If you're not in a place where you can safely fail or safely learn, then create a network outside of that space where you can safely fail. And I think most of the time it's in our head, okay? Most of the time it's in our head. In some environments, most of the time people want to support you, but I understand if it feels like maybe at work you're not completely supported, then find that support system at home, find that support system among your friends, and give yourself the opportunity to fail gracefully. Take it from somebody who has failed and failed well. You don't die, right? You do not die if you fail, okay? You dust yourself up, you pick yourself up, and you go out there. Look at me. How many times have I come on here and told you guys, I'm not going to do online dating anymore. It's so disheartening, and complained and ranted. And I said, you know what, I'm going off for two weeks. I'm never going back on. But then I went back on again, because you can pull back from the situation, give yourself some time, remove your pride, brush it off, and go back out there and play again. And maybe this time you would win. So here's my encouragement to you this week. Whatever you're doing, okay, prepare. Bring creativity into it. Stir yourself up. Remember that you always have something to bring to the plate. You always have something to offer. And if you do fail, okay, and there is no support system for you, look for support systems elsewhere. And just realize that you're not going to die. Failure will not kill you, okay? Failure will not kill you. God bless you. I hope this was helpful to you. I hope you were encouraged. I hope you're feeling like, yes, that thing that is difficult, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to ask that girl on a date. If she says no, that's fine. I'm going to ask that boy on a date. I'm going to slide into some DMs today. If they say no, that's fine. It's all right. I'm going to try and take a snazzy picture and put it out there. If people don't like it, that's fine. I like it. I've created. Anyway, peace and love to you. Honestly, I said I was going to keep it to 15 minutes, guys. It's not 15 minutes, it's 25 minutes. Have a good evening. Up until next week. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And do leave a heart, do leave a comment. Share it with somebody who you think will find it useful. Take care now. Bye.